And now to the historic change between Cuba and the United States. Just 2 days before Secretary of State John Kerry raises the U.S. flag in Havana, Republican South Florida congressional leaders are speaking out.
Yes, they are calling the upcoming ceremony an offensive, shameful spectacle. CBS 4's Natalia Zaya spoke with those members of Congress and is live in West Miami-Dade with the story. Natalia.
Well, from the start, these congressional leaders have been adamantly opposed to the Obama administration's decision to try to reestablish ties with Cuba. Today, no exception as we get so close to the country opening an embassy in Havana. These folks are using tough language, even calling the president, saying he has surrendered.
2 days before the American flag will once again be raised in Havana at the opening of the U.S. Embassy, South Florida Republican congressional leaders are raising their voices and rhetoric in protest.
He might as well be raising the white flag of surrender, because that is what this shameful day really is about.
They call Cuba a harbor for terrorists and a threat to our national security.
The administration's response is no biggie, no big deal. We're just going to forget all about that.
They also underscored their disgust with the decision, referencing an Associated Press report that found that Cuban dissidents will not be invited to the ceremony.
Sending a message to the dissidents that they form no role in this new relationship between the United States and Cuba, that they are forgotten, they are discarded, so much so that even over 100 were arrested and nobody bats an eyelash.
The Obama administration says the best way to improve Cuba's abuse of human rights is to engage the Castro regime.
This is a historic step forward in our efforts to normalize relations with the Cuban government and people and begin a new chapter with our neighbors in the Americas.
An idea that makes former Representative Lincoln Diaz-Balart, who helped establish some of the tough laws on Cuba, cringe.
Will Mr. Kerry go and wish Fidel Castro happy birthday tomorrow?
Polls show the majority of Americans agree with opening up Cuba to U.S. interests, but these Cuban-American leaders vow to fight against the removal of sanctions against the island and point out that only Congress has the power to lift the embargo or keep it in place.
All political prisoners must be released, fair and multi-party elections must be scheduled, and fundamental human rights in Cuba must be respected.
Now, according to the Associated Press report, even though dissidents will not be invited to the official flag-waving ceremony, Secretary Kerry will meet with them on Friday in Havana later in the day for a smaller, more low-key ceremony. Natalia Zaya, CBS 4 News.
All right, Natalia, thank you. And CBS 4 anchor Rick Folbaum is on his way to Cuba. He will be bringing us live reports from the island starting tomorrow right here on CBS 4 News.